Hi all, I see some folks rolling in. We'll give everyone about a minute to join and then we'll get started, so hang tight. Thanks. If you've just joined, we're slowly letting people trickle in, so we'll get started in just maybe a minute or so. So hang tight. Okay, I'm seeing the level of attendees level off. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this webinar on opportunities for participants of DOE's Integrated Lighting Campaign. My name is Axel Pearson. I'll be your host today. Thank you so much for joining. Today, I'd like to tell you about the campaign, recognition categories, how to submit for recognition, and we have a special guest with us as well who will tell you a little bit about a partner program. So thanks again for joining. Let's move on to the next slide. First, some logistics before we get started. The slides and recording will be posted shortly after the webinar on the Better Building Solutions Center. If you'd like to navigate there now, go to Better Building Solutions Center.energy.gov, hover over events and webinars, and then click on on-demand webinars. From there, you can click on lighting under technology and find this webinar and many more. And next, we are going to use Slido for polls and question and answer. I used this for the first time last week. It worked pretty well, so we're going to go with it again today. Hopefully you've all used it before, and if not, it's pretty straightforward. We have a slide that'll cover it. So Anna, if you don't mind, take us to the next slide and we can get oriented with Slido. So if you can, thank you for putting that link in the chat. So you can click that link that just came in the chat, or you can go to slido.com on your phone or on a new browser window, and you enter the event code, hashtag or pound DOE. That should get you into this webinar. And we have a test poll for you. So let's go ahead and pull that up and make sure that everyone is there and it's working. We'll give it a minute so you can get oriented on Slido. So the question is, where are you calling in from today? And as you, Earth. Nice, that's not wrong. DC, so yes, you're getting it. So you can enter your answer in and it will show up in the word cloud format. Okay, there's a fourth response. All right. Well, hopefully we get some better. Ooh, I see a Q&A. Okay, so one came in through the Zoom Q&A. That is okay, but you can also put it in Slido, but we'll keep an eye on the Zoom Q&A as well. I pulled that window up, so thank you. All right, let's, I'll say you can always reach out to us at integratedlighting@pnnl.gov with other questions or comments. So don't hesitate to shoot me an email there after the webinar or anytime if you have any questions. So great, let's move on. Take a look at the agenda. So we just did a quick introduction. I'll give you a brief overview of the campaign. Then we'll hear from our special guest, a member of the ILC organizing committee, the Design Lights Consortium, also known as the DLC. They'll tell us a little bit about their program. I'll tell you about participant recognition categories. I'll give an overview of last year's recognition, tell you about the timeline, and then I'm sure we'll have some ample time for question and discussion at the end. So yeah, let's get into it. Next slide. All right, so first let's cover some campaign basics. If you haven't heard of a technology campaign, it is It is a market transformation strategy. The goal here is to accelerate the adoption of advanced lighting systems. So market or technology campaigns, rather, are collaborative programs designed to help speed the adoption of all sorts of energy savings technology and also build trust that these things actually work and do what they say. They save energy. Our target stakeholders are typically building owners and managers who are open to early adoption of that new technology. There is some type of energy saving technology that is out there, but not yet totally mainstream. For example, a building owner might realize that they're due for a lighting upgrade and they want to integrate their lighting with the HVAC system. Those owners do that, then we help them as the campaign demonstrate real world savings and benefits of that technology, and we recognize them for that, and we promote them, and we help spread their success so other people can say, I have a building like that, I want to do that, and get those same benefits. And it's also important to say it's not just the building that installs the lighting. There are other organizations that are critical to the success of market transformation. They provide resources and help along the way. They identify new projects, and the campaign has categories to recognize them as well. And we'll talk a little bit about supporters later. So to sum up on this slide, you can see we follow this handy formula in a funnel shape. If we put together resources with knowledge sharing and recognition or promotion, we get accelerated adoption of those advanced lighting systems. And so that's our goal here with the integrated lighting campaign. Next slide, please. So now that we know what a technology campaign is, we can see how it's done with integrated lighting, and the ILC recognizes installations, of course, yeah, you guessed it, integrated lighting. In this sense, the term integrated lighting means that the lighting system can communicate with other building systems to enhance the overall building's performance, and not just the lighting, but any other systems it's tied to. So suffice to say, today's lighting has come a long way from basic LED upgrades. It can work with the rest of the building to achieve deeper energy savings at the building level, for example, by exchanging information with the HVAC system or a controllable plug load, or even broader than the building level by communicating with the electric grid. Lighting and lighting sensors hold some really valuable real estate up in the building's ceiling, meaning they have kind of this bird's eye view of the space, which is a really important perspective for observing and collecting information about the building. So they have the ability to relay that really useful information to these other building systems, like occupancy information. There's a person here, or I'm sensing some ambient light, or there's a change in temperature and humidity. Or even there's, I see an asset moving along this hallway. The lighting sensors are a good platform for that. And so integrating them, again, with these other building systems can really optimize building performance. So while this campaign is interested with these integrated systems, there are still other advanced lighting control systems that we hope to capture as well. Advanced systems and controls that improve lighting performance by themselves are still definitely of interest, and we love to hear how lighting systems are going above the basic control methods. So we're looking at things like, advanced occupancy, day lighting, scheduling approaches, in particular where sensors and controls are, again, enabling those deeper operational savings in lighting applications, or creating an enhanced occupant lighting experience. That could be something like luminaire level lighting controls, also known as LLC, or white tunable systems that might have a positive effect on the circadian system of the occupants, that type of thing. So all these great innovative lighting approaches is something that we are interested in. And through the campaign, we hope to learn about and recognize and promote these innovative lighting projects, as well as the supporters that help get them there. Next slide, please. So there are some different partners, and I've mentioned them, that are involved with the campaign, and it's good to get these straight. So this slide covers kind of three main groups of stakeholders within the campaign. At the top, we have the organizers, and I mentioned that. They are our primary planning and management team. They help by providing guidance to the ILC. They support our outreach efforts, and each of their organizations have an alignment with and interest in our campaign. They review all submissions for recognition, and they ultimately decide who gets recognized. Their logos are there at the bottom of the screen, and we actually have one of the members with us today I mentioned that we'll hear from a minute, so we get to learn about their program. Next, let's go to the bottom of the slide. Supporters are those organizations that deliver value to a building owner and user, whether it be products or services, electricity, incentives, or something else. They could be energy efficiency organizations, manufacturers, utilities, implementers, or consultants. So again, they are the ones that provide this key role in market transformation and in the campaign success by helping to promote the ILC and identify projects that might be a good fit for recognition. But today the focus is on the participants. So now we're looking at the center of the green box there. Participants of the ILC are the actual adopters of the technology. So these are building owners or facilities managers or anyone overseeing the use of the technology in the building. So they are the ones that get recognized for their projects that they implement. So we'll talk more about how to participate in the campaign today as a participant, but first we are going to hear from our guest speaker. Next slide, please. It is my pleasure to introduce Liesl Whitney Schulte, who is here representing the Design Lights Consortium. And I mentioned they are a member of the DLC Organizing Committee. Liesl is DLC's program director. She has a wealth of knowledge in lighting design and efficiency. I've had the pleasure of working with her for a number of years. And she's going to tell us a bit about the DLC and how they contribute to the ILC and the overall adoption of advanced lighting controls. So Liesl, I'll hand it over to you. Take it away.
Thanks, Axel. So Anna, you can go to the next slide. So the DLC is a nonprofit organization who is committed to improving energy efficiency for commercial lighting and making a positive climate impact. To do this, we develop technical requirements, we maintain lists of qualified products and systems, publish research on the savings potential of LEDs and controls, and develop other educational resources to promote the installation of LEDs and controls. None of this is done in a vacuum. Because we're a consortium, we encourage input and feedback from our members, from manufacturers, and from other lighting professionals to ensure that we're promoting the right lighting performance criteria and control strategies to save energy and keep up with the pace of technology. It's our goal to provide a trusted, impartial assessment of the industry's highest performing lighting products and systems to boost consumer trust and adoption of the technologies to save the most energy. You can go to the next slide. So the DLC, we were recognized in 2021, along with a number of our member organizations, which would be the supporters in this case. The DLC has been an organizer and supporter of the integrated lighting campaign since December of 2019. And in 2021, we were recognized for our work to drive adoption of connected lighting solutions through our development of our network lighting controls, technical requirements, and the qualified product list that goes along with that, and the success of our online and in-person NLC trainings and the savings potential reports that we published, and those are available on our website. All of this work we were recognized for has helped to support our members' programs. Again, those are the ones they're showing here: Consumers Energy, Seattle City Light, Con Edison, and Excel Energy. There's multiple other members that we have, but these are the ones that were recognized in 2021. And this helps increase their trade allies' knowledge of the technology and maximize the savings that they're able to claim within their programs and for their customers. And in 2021, we also encouraged and worked with those 4 members to get recognition for themselves to help them demonstrate how their programs are having an impact in this market as well. They were all recognized for the success that they were seeing from their lighting controls rebate programs. And you can go to the next slide. So our members are utilities, energy efficiency programs, and regional energy efficiency organizations throughout the US and Canada that all require DLC listed products for their rebate programs. In addition to our members, there's also many other rebate programs that require DLC listed products in order to receive rebates for lighting and controls projects. Our QPLs are an extremely valuable resource for these programs, and to support them, we evaluate thousands of commercial LED products every month through our robust application review process. Programs can be confident that the products they are providing rebates for will save energy, meet the quality, reliability, and safety requirements, and provide their customers with a wide selection of products for lighting projects in offices, healthcare facilities, schools, retail stores, controlled environmental agriculture, and more. While the qualified product lists are publicly available, the DLC is a nonprofit and relies on the contributions of our member organizations to support our work and ensure that we're creating requirements that best support their programs so that they're able to maximize those savings. If you know of any rebate programs that require DLC listed products that would like to join our membership, please contact us, let us know. The more representation we have from a variety of utilities and programs, the bigger impact we can have and help promoting installation of lighting and controls. Next slide. I'd like to share just a quick few points on how the DLC promotes energy savings and the use of lighting controls through our 4 program areas. There's solid state lighting, networked lighting controls, horticultural lighting, and our Luna program. Our solid state lighting program achieves greater energy savings through higher efficacy products. It unlocks additional energy savings and improves occupants' satisfaction by mitigating use issues with overlighting and glare. It identifies products with integral control sensors and capabilities, which provides additional energy savings and flexibility for the installations, and delivers color appearance that's less likely to shift over time. It also identifies products that may be compatible with various lighting control systems based on the communication type, if it's wired or wireless, and protocol. The network lighting control program defines interior and exterior systems and their control strategies that make it easy to find the right system for any project needs. DLC listed systems must include capabilities such as occupancy sensing, daylight harvesting, high-end trim, zoning, continuous dimming, cybersecurity, and energy monitoring. Excuse me. Systems may also indicate if they're capable of scheduling, device monitoring, or remote diagnostics, luminaire level lighting control, plug load control, and emergency lighting. We recently released a new technical requirements for our horticultural lighting program, which includes increase the minimum efficacy another 21%, which means that the DLC products are 35% more efficacious than incumbent HID light sources. It reports the product's application information to provide the intended use for controlled environment and the lighting scheme. It requires product level controllability to enable additional energy savings, promote interoperability, and lay the groundwork for future demand response programs and systems. And finally, our Luna program requirements, it's a new offering, which is really of particular interest to cities and municipalities with outdoor lighting ordinances or policies, or those that are looking to adopt one. It's a subset of our solid state lighting technical requirements, which establishes additional criteria on top of the SSL requirements for using the highest quality outdoor lighting at night to minimize lighting energy use and light pollution, and provide appropriate visibility for people and limit negative impacts to the environment. Luna has additional dimming, control, shielding requirements to ensure efficient use of lighting energy, and has requirements for light distribution, correlated color temperature, and dimming controls to ensure that less light is scattered into the atmosphere, reducing light trespasses and sky glow, as well as putting light where it's needed and saving energy. So we also recently published a separate resource called 7 Strategies to Mitigate or to Minimize Negative Impacts of Outdoor Light at Night, which highlights the importance of using lighting controls and some other best practices for applying outdoor lighting. So for more details on any of these programs, you can read more on our website under our work and check out our other resources too. And next slide. Here's some contact information for our website. We're happy to answer questions you have, but we encourage everyone to subscribe to our mailing list so that you can receive the latest and greatest news from the DLC. So thank you again, Axel.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Liesel, and thank you for your continued support of the campaign. All right, let's take a second to have a poll to get an idea of who is on the call today. So again, you'll want to go to Slido, or maybe this comes straight up on Zoom. Again, I'm still learning. So anyway, however this comes up on your screen, let's go ahead and access that. Ooh, I do see there's now a link in the chat for you to answer this question. So which of the following best describes the type of organization you represent? All right, this is good. I'm seeing responses come in. So far, it's looking like quite a bit of commercial real estate, government and public buildings, and other. Maybe if it's an other, you can use the chat and let us know what other is. Okay, I haven't seen another result in a little bit, so all right. Thank you for answering that poll. Let's go ahead and close that. Awesome, thank you. So I would like to tell you about the categories in which the participants and supporters can be recognized. This means that if you go to submit for recognition, either as a participant or supporter, you will have to choose one or more of these categories and then tell us why you should be recognized. So let's take a look. Next slide. So this slide shows the current 6 recognition categories. These are current, but they also were part of the campaign last year. So that is in opposition to the next slide. Won't go there yet, covers new categories. So again, these are some existing and still current categories. On the left side of the screen, there's the advanced use of sensors and controls for lighting. And that includes connected lighting systems, networked lighting controls, LLC, or those white tunable systems I talked about. Then there are 3 separate categories for integrated systems. Integrated controls for plug loads, which are controlled receptacles that respond to lighting occupancy sensors or controls. Integrated controls for HVAC, which could also respond to those occupancy signals, but instead of shutting off a receptacle, it could adjust the temperature set points. And the third integrated system category looks for any other systems where lighting helps inform things like security, the Internet of Things, grid interactivities. There are so many options here in this category, so it's a bit of a catch-all for these advanced methods of integration. So I really expect some cool technology here this year and in the coming years. I'm excited to see that. So next, there is the integrated lighting and horticultural controls, which is some type of integration that optimizes greenhouse efficiency. It could improve crop yield, reduces the amount of chemicals or pesticides, improve watering schedules, provide other non-energy benefits. This was a new category in 2022, and we were very excited to have 2 recognitions in this category. I hope to keep that going. So if you know of any integrated greenhouses, let us know. On the far right of the slide, there is another category that was new last year. It's called Innovative Maintenance, Operation, and Financing Service Models, which could include innovative approaches to funding the integrated lighting, such as lighting as a service, unique utility incentives, or any other alternative financing options that might be out there for these types of installations. So we did have 1 recognition in this category last year, which was a unique lighting as a service project for the Home Innovation Research Lab. So we do have some information on that case study on our website. So if you're interested in that, let us know. Okay, so like I mentioned, those are the existing participant categories. Next, I'm going to tell you about 4 new categories for 2023. Next slide, please. All right, again, starting on the left side of our screen, the first new category is specifically focused on small buildings, which we define as smaller buildings, or buildings rather, smaller than 50,000 square feet. This category really acknowledges that lighting controls are really not a one-size-fits-all. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to have a very complex network lighting control system, especially in a smaller space with a few amount of luminaires, or buildings that don't have a building automation system or a dedicated facility manager. So here we're really looking for novel room control applications. So really just tell us how your small project has incorporated advanced lighting that works for the space and the occupants. Next, we have a category for germicidal ultraviolet or GUV systems for energy savings and improved air quality. This is a hot topic right now, as you could imagine. It's a promising technology for safety in buildings. We want to recognize projects that have successfully deployed this energy efficient GUV system in buildings to reduce the spread of airborne pathogens and improve overall indoor air quality. So this is especially relevant for the larger goal of building energy efficiency, as some recent research suggests that GUV lighting is a more effective and energy efficient alternative to ramping up building ventilation and increasing the outdoor exchange rate. And that's what a lot of buildings did in the early pandemic. So you can, when you combine maybe some increase in ventilation or filtration with GUV, you will get some better disinfection in your building. So again, I'm really hoping we see some great projects in this category. Okay, our third new category, sustainability and lighting. Also a popular topic right now. We want to highlight projects that have successfully minimized their environmental footprint and impacts across the product lifestyle. This could be using products that are serviceable, those that are made of recycled materials, or approaches that extend the product lifetime and support maintenance or improves kind of end-of-life outcomes. That might be, products that are reusable, remanufacturable, recyclable, or just encourage proper disposal of e-waste, as we know kind of includes or is included in some of these systems. So really, we're interested in these projects that could use transparency in their documentation, labeling, or determine the selection of the specified luminaires or controlled systems. Okay, so the last new category is energy justice, diversity, equity, and inclusion in advanced lighting. This category seeks to recognize advanced projects which successfully incorporate energy justice, diversity, and equity and inclusion practices. This can include siting, installation, contracting, or procurement. For example, a lighting retrofit in a building or site that offers benefits to a local community, especially if it's a disadvantaged community. They can offer education on the energy savings approaches or plan of donating or sharing the costs or energy benefits with that community. Another example might be a project that includes a community liaison that ensures that the community is engaged throughout the construction and deployment of the technology. Each of these new categories has more examples on our website. And if you'd like to talk through any of these, or if you have a project that you think might fit into one of these new categories, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd be happy to talk through it with you and kind of see where it fits. Okay, so those are the participant categories. There are also 2 supporter categories that we'll talk about on the next slide. So I did cover these in a webinar last week. I don't expect that you joined both, but maybe, it is available up on the web if you want to take a look at that. But I'm just going to breeze through these 2 categories here since we spent a bit of time on them last week. But of course, let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to talk in more detail. So really, the supporters can be recognized for being an exemplary supporter, and that's really just encouraging the use of advanced lighting controls and technologies that facilitate integration of the lighting with other building systems. The other supporter category is continuing for its 2nd year, but we revised it slightly, is the category to recognize exemplary supporters that support energy justice, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So this is similar to the participant category, but it is focused on the organization itself rather than the project. So that organization could demonstrate their successful efforts to deploy advanced lighting solutions in underserved or disadvantaged communities, or support projects in those communities that are minority-owned businesses. Ultimately, we would really like to see supporters that work with and represent disadvantaged communities and bring the benefits of advanced lighting to the people that need it most. Okay, next slide. So here's a summary of our recognitions this year. And I mean last year, 2022, it is the new year now. We had a total of 15 participants recognized last year and 3 supporters. So you can see that most of the participants were recognized for advanced sensors and controls, but also a pretty good spread across other categories, with the exception of the integrated controls for plug loads. That we didn't have any recognitions there. That was a little disappointing last year. So hopefully we can find more plug loads this year. So special shout out to anyone with a plug load project, let me know. But we also had a really good range of participant organizations, from manufacturing to higher ed, greenhouses, long-term care facility. There's a co-working space in there. There's a couple car dealerships. Anyway, all of these buildings were able to install LED lighting and controls, save a bunch of energy, and improve their spaces while doing it, and we recognized them for that. Next slide. So one of the main benefits of being recognized by the ILC is that we do a lot to promote your organization. We set up DOE email blasts, social media announcements. We've done case studies in the past, and this year we've created infographics that can be used as website banners or social media graphics that give the key details of the projects, like the lighting system features and capabilities, energy saved, and other successes. And then we show some pictures to keep it a little more graphical. You can see an example there on the upper left. We also produce some videos of the projects where the participants can tell the story of their project in their own words. So both of these screenshots are previews from the Chicago Smart Lighting Program, who undertook a massive street lighting modernization project. They converted more than 280,000 high-pressure sodium streetlights to high-efficiency LEDs with advanced controls. So we'll have this one up on our website soon, but check it out when it's up there. Watch the video and get an idea of how we kind of promote and spread the word about your successes. Next slide. So recognized partners are also invited to attend an event where we present their projects and offer them a framed certificate of recognition. Last year's event was at the 2022 IES Annual Conference in New Orleans, Louisiana. So here are just a few pictures from the event. We had a great turnout. We hope to keep that going this year. I'll tell you a little bit more about the upcoming event in a little bit. So let's keep moving. Next slide, please. Okay, if I haven't yet convinced you to be involved in the campaign by now, hopefully this will get us the rest of the way there. This is a summary of benefits when it comes to being a participant of the campaign. Like I said, we provide a great opportunity for visibility of your organization through those case studies and infographics, like the one from Chicago Smart Lighting Program. We promote you through our website and newsletters, as well as DOE's in the Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy. We have webinars throughout the year where we invite recognized participants to speak, as well as at DOE events. So these are just more opportunities to get exposure and share your success and promote yourself for amazing projects. I mentioned if you get recognized, you get a framed certificate. You also get the use of an ILC logo that you can use on your website and social media. You get access to a bunch of resources, which I'll talk about more on the next slide. All right, so there are a bunch of resources for everyone involved in the campaign. The ILC website serves as a resource for things like reports, case studies, various resources from other national labs and third-party organizations, utility incentive lists that might be helpful in providing financial support for those taking on these lighting projects, webinars like this one, trainings are also listed there, and topic relevant videos. They're available to view right on the site. So check out our website under resources. Okay, I'm going to take a small break from talking and we're going to do another poll. Let's take a look at that one. Now that you know a little bit about the campaign, what do you think? There are some options there. All right, at least one person is ready for lunch. I have some questions for you. I'll get in touch. That's great. We will also have a Q&A session just coming up in a few minutes. At least one person said, I know of a project and want to submit for recognition. That is great. Okay. All right. Looks like we've leveled off. So thank you for answering that poll. We got one more in there at the end. Okay, let's close that one and move on. All right, so here is the timeline for this year. So we really started this campaign right at the end of last year, so kind of after that recognition event that was in August. So we kind of officially say that this campaign year began in September, but the recognition submission process opened on January 2nd, right at the new year. And the recognition submission process will close March 31st. So we are in that window right now to submit projects and supporters for recognition. After the submission process closes, we will make selections. We will work with the organizing committee. We'll work with our internal team to review all of those projects and make selections for recognition. We will let everyone know by June 30th. But it is important to say that recognition is not conferred until it is announced at the 2023 IES Annual Conference. It's in Chicago this year. Between August 3rd and 5th. We do not know what the exact date of the recognition ceremony is, but we will announce it as soon as we know. We're working with IES on that one. And I will give a quick shout out to IES as one of our organizing committees and thank them for hosting the event at their conference. Okay, next slide. So if you'd like to submit for recognition, go to our website. Under the recognition tab, you'll see a link to submit for recognition. On that page, you can select how you'd like to submit, either as a participant or a supporter. And then once you make that selection, you'll see something that looks like the next slide. Yes, this is what the submission form looks like. It's pretty straightforward, 2 boxes. Once you select the category, then these fields open up, and this is the key part of the submission. You should tell us the story of your project and how it fits into the recognition category, and you can then provide some supporting data, such as the number of buildings impacted or any energy savings measured, incentives received, or other quantifiable information. But really, again, it's about the narrative. It's about telling us the story about how you made the lighting system work for your space. Again, we think it's a pretty simple and streamlined submission process. In addition to these 2 boxes, there are some general information kind of about the building questions, but it should be pretty quick. It usually takes people about 15 or 20 minutes, depending on how much you want to put in this narrative. But once you submit, we work with everyone who submits a project. We typically do at least one follow-up call, and it's a little bit of an interview where we just talk to you a little bit more about the building. We do a preliminary review and organize some questions to ask you during that call. So this is not the end of your submission here. This just kind of gets you on the books, and then we'll work a little more closely with you to flesh the submission out. Okay, next slide. That should be my last one. Okay, so yeah, we can start some Q&A. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. So submit your questions into Slido. There is now a link in the chat, so open up that browser window and there should be an area where you can enter your questions. If you don't have any questions, I have some from you, some for you. What else would you like to see from the ILC? What would help you submit for recognition, and what would make being recognized more valuable? I kind of went through how we've been recognizing people, but it's also kind of an individual thing. So let us know how it would be valuable to you. How can we promote your project? We want recognition to be valuable to you, so let us know. Okay. Ooh, we got a couple in. Okay. Good questions. All right, we'll start with the first one. Are projects that received utility incentives allowed for recognition? Yes, definitely, and that will help you. That will help your recognition. This is, as I mentioned, that it's not only about the lighting project itself, but about every part of the puzzle that kind of gets you there. So yeah, many of our projects that were recognized last year received utility incentives. And so be sure to include that on your application form or your submission form. Let us know the utility that you worked with and how much you got. And that is all part of a successful project that we want to share and let people know if they have a similar building, then maybe they have trouble paying for it, and so they can get a utility incentives for a similar project. Okay, will you accept late submissions? Good question. We want to keep the deadline set, but like I said, with the application form or the submission form, enter in what you can. And like I said, that's not the end of the submission process. So if you just enter some basic information, give us enough to go on, and then we will have that follow-up call with you and we will get more information. So if you're worried about not putting enough in there, or maybe you're waiting on some data that's coming in, some energy savings data, that's okay. I would say submit for recognition. We'll have a call and talk through the project, and we'll definitely work with you there. Is there guidance on selling this to the broader organization? Yeah, we have some flyers and some collateral that might help you sell this to your organization. But I'm also happy to have calls with folks. That's what I've been doing in the last few weeks, is a lot of outreach and just having short calls with folks that may not, have too much time on their hands. I'll have a quick 15-minute call and give them a very truncated version of what we talked about here. But the website, I think, should have some good resources for you. But really, I think it's about talking about promoting the organization, promoting the project, and also, sharing your success and helping other folks. So I think hopefully that will help sell to the broader organization. Okay, I think you can also enter stuff into the Q&A or a chat area where maybe you want to answer some of those questions that I had for you. How to make recognition more valuable. Maybe I ask that back to that person that asked the question. What would help you sell it to your organization? What can we provide you? I think that would be an important one. So if you have any input, let us know. We have a little bit of time. Hey, anything come in to Slido, Anna? Okay, I gotta know. That's okay. Well, with that, I think I can go ahead and call it early. I'm always in favor of ending a meeting early, knowing that we're always in back-to-backs. So, but this does not mean you miss the opportunity to ask a question or provide input. Let's go to the next slide. I have some contact information there. Email me at integratedlighting@pnl.gov. That address goes straight to my inbox, so I get all those. So feel free to send anything there. I think we have one more that has my personal contact information. There I am. There's my business card. We'd love to have your involvement in the campaign. So thank you for joining today. Really appreciate your time. Hope to hear from you soon. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye.